Hi, Andreas here. I got a question about cross-channel cannibalizing and app versus web, and I want to share some thoughts with you about that. I've been meaning to do this YouTubing for a while, never got around to do it. So I'll start with this video about cross-channel cannibalizing and app versus web. You see, cross-channel cannibalizing is the worry that you may lose revenue in an existing, for example, online web channel when you introduce services in a new channel, like a responsive web or an app, and how to deal with that. My take on that is that cross-channel cannibalizing is going to happen anyway. If it's not your solution in one of the new channels, it could be the mobile channel or the wearable or glass or any other of the 10-15 new channels coming up, it's going to be your competitors. So instead of worrying that you cannibalize on an existing channel, you should be worrying about your competitor doing it. You need to make sure, instead of worrying about cross-cannibalizing, that your products and services are consistently designed and offered to the customer in any channel. I think it's important for the customer to choose what channel to interact with you. The second part is about app versus web in this context. And it's a question that's been debated for a long time. It's going to be an ongoing debate even after this video. My take on it in this context is that it's important in an omni-channel context that your website renders well on any size of screen. That means responsive web design is really important. It's not a magic silver bullet. It's not going to solve everything, but it's the best tool we have today. So if you don't have a responsive web today, you need to make sure you go there. Rendering nice on any size of screen is really important. The web is really important. Now, versus app is really interesting because it's a hygiene factor. There is a must-have to be online and to have your website. But the characteristics are really different. Where the web is browsable, it lends itself very well for browsing, reading. It's a very reactive type of channel. The user has to go there and request for information and then surf for long. The app, however, can also be reactive, but has a much more proactive characteristic. It can seek up the user. You can use push notification. You can have the app behave and look differently depending on the location of the user, depending on the time, depending on the history of transactions, and all of that mashed together. So it's a much more proactive type of channel. So for your existing customers to add more value in the interaction and the relationship, it makes sense to have an app, a well-scoped, tool-oriented, functional type of app, which drives revenue in that channel. So here it is. You need to do both responsive web and then a highly engaging, context-driven app in the mobile channel, and then don't worry about the cross-channel cannibalizing. It's going to be your product or your competitors.